We're hearing rumors that Google could actually be charging for TV episodes on YouTube. That's not such a smart idea. We asked Paul Miller from Engadget and Nicholas Carlson from the Business Insider. Times are tough, so save time and money by skipping business trips and using GoToMeeting. Visit gotomeeting.com/techpodcast and get 30 days for free. If you ask anyone, YouTube is definitely the cream of the crop when it comes to user-generated content. Of course, on the other side of the story, with professionally generated content, there's a lot more competition with things like Hulu, among others. Now that we're hearing that YouTube might charge $1.99 for advertising-free episodes of television programs the day after they air, just like you might see on iTunes or on Amazon.com. Now, Paul, as a user, is this something that interests you at all, or do you think people should just watch the ads, or what's sort of your take on the situation?
I don't mind ads if they're giving me unique content. I'm kind of odd in that I'll tend to pony up, but usually there needs to be some sort of value add. Like I pay monthly for Netflix, but I can get Netflix on any device. I don't pay for Hulu, and I have to watch it right in the browser window. So YouTube needs some sort of way to get this to other devices. It's hard to see people spending money to watch Flash content just to get rid of the ads. I think they need to get it to devices somehow.
Yeah, and they're the only game in town when it comes to this. I mean, you mentioned
all the networks have, you can watch their shows for free in a web browser player already. So I don't see what the big, what the specific point is. If they add shows like maybe HBO shows that you can't get right now online, then that would definitely be an interesting and a win for them.
Yeah, well, for the business side of this, Nicholas, now, I mean, this is, a model that's been around. These agreements have been established. iTunes, of course, is probably the most notable example, and they've been doing it for years. I mean, does Google really have a reason to really jump into this? It doesn't seem like those models have really caught on with consumers that much.
Well, the big picture is that YouTube has, I'm just looking at a compete chart here, about 85 million uniques just in the US. So why not have this option available if it can help sort of make money with YouTube, which they've had. It's been they acquired in 2006. Anything helps at this point. So I think that's the main reason they're doing it. I mean, that's been the trick with YouTube. They've tried advertising in all sorts of different ways. They have pre-rolls now. They have search ads in YouTube, and they basically figured out that there's not going to be one trick with YouTube. They have to try a bunch of things, and this is just one of the bunch of things. And so if they can make some incremental income off of it, that'll be a big win.
It's a shocker to actually generating revenue. Go figure. Now, Paul, I mean, you mentioned the other devices. Is there any other sort of gotchas that they would need to really nail? I mean, you mentioned HBO sort of as an interesting thing. Are there any other angles you can think of, or is it really just sort of either more unique content, more places to get it, or maybe there's another piece of the puzzle that we're just not getting totally? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I definitely agree that you can't. Advertising revenue alone isn't going to pay for every single thing on earth, and so it definitely makes sense to pay for stuff. I think the App Store is a good example of something where people weren't typically spending a lot of money on mobile applications, and all of a sudden they're spending a lot of money. But I think I just, like I said, there has to be a value add. I think the TV network specifically, it's fine for YouTube. YouTube can throw anything up against the wall, see what sticks, but TV networks need to let go of this idea that they can only put stuff online if it won't compete with traditional offerings where people are watching TV on the couch. They need to give a little more flexible, be a little more flexible with rights to make this a really valuable proposition, so that you're happy to spend $2, not so that you're like, I guess I'll spend $2.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. So people weren't excited about it. Now, Nicholas, from the other people's perspectives, the Hulus of the world, and sort of, iTunes, Amazon, does this really affect them at all, or is this more just, YouTube, it really just affects YouTube's own offering? I mean, would anyone have any reaction to this or anything like that?
Well, I think that the point here that YouTube, I think that Paul's getting at a little bit, that there's no value add. So I think that it's, like I said before, it's useful for YouTube to have it there. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine people who are used to downloading shows on iTunes, where they get to keep it, they get to watch it on their iPhone, see it anytime, would then switch to the $1.99 for viewing it on YouTube. So, I mean, I can't see it really stealing a lot of that business, but it may sort of turn people who are just on YouTube watching some dog on a skateboard video into someone who's then going to pay for a video.
The Jackass
favorite
clip or
show.
something. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, I don't know. Sounds like a mediocre idea. We'll have to see where it goes. Let us know in the comments if you think you actually appreciate this. Because personally, I'm not really that into this, and I think a lot of people kind of feel like Paul, where if I can pay $2 and get it on iTunes and watch it anywhere, I don't want to pay $2 to stream it in my browser anyway. So we'll have to. I don't know. YouTube, keep trying. See what happens. Guys, we're gonna leave it there. Paul Miller from Engadget. Thanks for coming on the program. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Also, Nicholas Carlson from the Business Insider. Thanks for coming on the show
Pleasure.
as well. I'm Randall Bennett. Don't forget, you can catch us on YouTube. We're also on iTunes. And anywhere else, we're on Mevio, lots of other places. So keep checking us out. See you later.
Promo code AFTVI123 and get 15% off any order from eastbay.com.